Hi guys, this is Malior. Welcome to my DCS settings walkthrough in my second session with my fourth image. Now we are in a A-18 Hornet standing on the flight deck in the rain. Unfortunately, there are a bit less to see here than I expected. But to keep things consistent, I'll still go through all the settings. That way you can double check your own preferred options. Maybe you'll notice something I might have missed. So the first option will now be the DLAA, turning it on now. Then back to default MSAA 4 times. Next MSAA off, MSAA 4 times to compare, MSAA 2 times, and back to default MSAA 4 times. Next one will be the upscaling, turning it on to quality now. Balanced, performance, and high performance. Next one will be default. Then the sharpening 0.3, 0.6, and 1. And there you see on the raindrops it's looking not so nice actually. Next one default. Turning it sharpening on again to show all these little dots and artifacts. 0. Next one will be the textures. Now low. The cockpit looks a little bit washed away. Medium, better, and high. Quite nice. The next one, terrain textures, will of course not have an effect. Going right over it. Minimum and maximum. Next one, shadows, so turning them off. Flat only. Here you already see that flat only has not really an effect on the cockpit. The next one will, low. Then you can observe the shadow border, how it will change, getting to medium and to high. Next one, blur flat shadows, turning on, has no effect, and off, back to default. Secondary shadows off, and on again, see no difference. Screen space shadows is currently off, turning it on now on, and off again. Visible range, here I'm also skipping over because it has no real effect. Clouds currently set to high, now setting to low, to medium, to high, and to ultra, and back to high default. Next one, water, setting to low. Now medium and high. Next one is an interesting again, the screen space ambient occlusion, setting it on. And here you have a clear effect, everything's getting darker where it should be, so it's looking much better. But as in other videos pointed out, the performance drops. So now going from low to high, still no difference. And turning it off again. Next one, SSLR is off, now on. Going back off. Here you have a difference. If you watch outside, you will see a difference. I'm turning it on again. You see that the aircraft making a kind of mirroring effect. You see it on the wet floor. Turning it off again. And on again. Here also, you see it very well. Then off to default. Lens effect, still not very interesting. Skipping slowly over it. Dirt, lens effect, flare, none. Heat blur is currently set to high. Going off, low, and high. There's actually only a little bit on the left. It will be better visible in the next video. Next one, depth of field, broken simple off. It's only interesting for outside. Canopy reflections. Unfortunately, I'm just not in the right angle to the sun, so there aren't many. It's turning to 0, 0.25, 0.5, and 1. Volumetric lights. It's currently on, turning it off, and on again. No effects. Grass and clutter, of course, no effect. Just making 0 and the full value 1500. Forest also going down to 0 and 100. You see also in performance no difference, so actually as expected or how it should be. Forest details, 1 going 0 and 1 again, no difference. Scenery details, so we are an aircraft carrier, here is no difference. Chimney smoke density, of course, also no difference. LOD multiplier, 0.1 and 2, no visible effect so far. LOD multiplier from 2 to 0.1, going to 0.5, 1.0, 1.5 and 2.0 back to default. Next one, anisotropic filtering from default is 8 times to off 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, 16 times, no difference. Terrain object shadows, so we actually have no real terrain, is now flat and default. I don't see a difference. Flat again, standard, and off. No difference, but a little bit in performance. Next one is interesting. The cockpit global illumination, now turned off and back on. Turning it off again, you see everything's getting very bright and turned on again. It would be interesting how it interacts with SAAO, but I don't have run that combination so far. And the best one, of course, rain droplets. Currently set to visible true, turning it off now. And no magic, it just disappears as expected. Performance difference, if we look on the bottom left, from 118 to 100 and around 13, I think it's okay and it looks very nice. So that's it for the FA-18 in the cockpit. The next video will show the outside view in this same situation where we see the other jets starting, so you'll have a lot of influence of the heat blur, you'll see the rain and the wet deck. Stay tuned.